Let's talk about the most important lessons I learned in prison. My name is Jesse, and I spent 19 years in the Virginia prison system, and now I run a nonprofit providing prison reentry services. So the first thing I learned was how to be uncomfortable. And the obvious is physically uncomfortable, like being on a transfer bus, shackled hand and foot, locked with the black box, no jacket in January, freezing cold because they don't have enough jackets to send between institutions. Like, it is a profoundly uncomfortable thing. And I could fight against it. I could try to struggle, or I could try to break out of my bonds, but that's not going to work. Sometimes, and often, the only way to move forward is to surrender. That doesn't mean to give up in the long run, but it means to surrender to what is. Like, this is not going to change. If I'm sitting here wasting all my energy trying to fight this, I'm not doing anything that I could actually do. I have to accept what is so that I can move forward and I can make changes. I've been emotionally uncomfortable. So I went to prison hating myself, thinking I was just worthless and irredeemable because I had caused great harm in the world, and I expected other people to see me the same way I saw myself. I didn't expect acceptance or support or any of the things that I received, and that's one of the reasons that I'm so lucky, because people lifted me up when I was down, and I had to surrender to the fact that I felt those things before somebody could help lift me out of it. Because as long as I felt guilty about feeling something, or I felt angry about feeling something, I couldn't actually get to that root feeling. So I had to accept what I was feeling and experiencing emotionally. I had to just be there. I learned to be uncomfortable in a space. I learned to be in places where I didn't feel physically safe, and how to resource myself, how to take care of myself, how to build structure, how to feel comfortable being uncomfortable. And it was a really profound shift to me when I realized that if I'm uncomfortable, I don't have to do anything. Because for my entire life, the moment I felt discomfort, I needed to take it away or change it. I needed to get high, or I needed to run really fast, or I needed to go have sex. I needed to find some way to take that away. And once all that was stripped away and I was sitting in prison, I finally learned how to be uncomfortable. So profound transformation. I credit meditation, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Another thing that I learned in prison is that life is not about me. Up to that point, I'd been living a life that was hedonistic and self-centered. I wanted to feel good, I wanted to take all the bad feelings away, I wanted to have all the money, I wanted everything to be about me. That kind of narcissism is a prison in itself. Like, I was miserable. When people ask me, do you ever see yourself going back to the life you lived? I have a clear memory of how miserable I was. Like, if I had been happy, I could see, okay, maybe I would fall back into those ways, but I hated myself. I hated my life. I could not imagine choosing to go back to a place where I was so miserable. So recognizing that life was about other people as well as myself. It was about relationships and connection and sharing. So I learned from a lot of amazing people, and then I made it my duty to share with others. So everything I learned, I tried to give away freely, because what I found was that that was where I felt most alive. Learning and sharing and teaching and being in relationship with other people. Because once I got out of my own head and I stopped trying to be an island, I actually found some sense of peace in the world. I felt like I can do this.